Alright, so we're going to walk through how to send a signal to the TC electronics unit and then bring it back on the stereo returns in the center section of the console. First thing we do is obviously we have our signal coming into the monitor input of the channel that we want to send, in this case, to reverb. So it's coming in here on channel 47, and then we come down to our effects and we push it down to turn it on and turn it up. Effects 1, 2, 3, and 4 are normaled to the TC electronics 9, 10, 11, and 12. And you can see the signal of our snare drum coming through there. Now what I want to do is route this input 9 into engine 1, which right now has basically a plate reverb emulator in it. So I hit the route button. So this red light comes on. I choose the engine I want, and I'm going to take that and connect it from this input. And you will see signal coming in and a stereo signal going out. The outputs of the TC electronics unit are normaled. Channels 9 and 10 go to stereo return 1, channels 11 and 12 to stereo return 2, and then 13 and 14 to stereo return 3 on the console. We're not using stereo return 4 right now, or it's not normal to anything. So I'm going to route the output of our reverb, out 1 and 2 of the actual reverb into the output 9 and 10, which should come back on stereo return 1. So there's our basic flow, and that's in the frame panel here. And if we go to engine 1, we can see the actual parameters of that reverb as well as the input and output. I'm not going to go into details on that. If we come back over to the console, to the center section, as I mentioned, 9 and 10 on the TC electronics are normal to stereo return 1. So in stereo return 1, we need to obviously turn it up, but we also want this to route into mix A. In order to do that, I come down to the selector panel, turn it on, has to be on. Then on the stereo return, you hold down the AFL button and push mix A. At which point, you can hopefully hear it, you'll see mix A lit up here, and I now have reverb control. Obviously that's a lot of reverb. Now if I set my stereo return like an aux track in Pro Tools to a specific level and don't touch it, I can mix various instruments into that reverb using effects send 1 on every single channel on the console. So that's nothing. If I take a track like this, well, you probably vocal, I can easily and quickly add reverb with effects 1. And that's it. That's how you add reverb using the TC electronics.